Help the Crowd Shout Radio Show grow and thrive by doing something you already do. Shop on Amazon. Amazon always has great deals for whatever you are looking for. From survivalists and riot gear to beanie babies. Next time you're going to shop at Amazon, use my link. The prices stay the same, but I get credit for the sale. Just go to tinyurl.com/LouisB and just shop normally, knowing that you're helping support the Crowd Shout Radio Show. That's tinyurl.com/LouisB.
Warning.
This show contains mature content. Listener discretion is advised.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
One angry New York City Puerto Rican decided to start a radio show, determined to piss the world off by shoving a mirror in front of society's face. He kicked them in the balls.
What are you? Who are you?
This is the Crotch Shot Radio Show. Crotch Shot Radio Show.
This is not a test. This is a broadcast transmission.
We're going to stay on the air.
And now, Louis B.
Yo, welcome to the Crowd Shot Radio Show, where we kick the issues in the balls. We are on an active war against bullshit. We would do anything and everything to expose bullshit. The ends sometimes justify the means. So if you're angry and want the truth exposed, then strap in and prepare to be shocked. This is Smash Mouth Talk. If you can't accept that, then fuck off. I'm your host, Louis B. I takes no crap from nobody. I actually expose the bullshit of society and chop it up into easy to digest chunks for you. Today won't be any different. Today, I am honored, as I always am when I have another patriot on the show. This gentleman is actively fighting Antifa in Portland, Oregon. His name is Leo Stratton. He has a YouTube channel. I can't talk today. Jesus, I was going good. Leo Stratton. You could check him out on his YouTube, Leo Stratton, and he also writes for redelephants.com. Leo, welcome, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So, I mean, I found you on YouTube, because I for some reason I need to get pissed off on a daily basis, and the best way lately for me to get pissed off is watching Antifa get away with shit.
Yeah, that's a daily thing in my city. They have a foothold, and I'm glad that we're talking, and some of your viewers, listeners can find out exactly what they are and prevent them from becoming a menace, a disease in their area.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, a lot of them I see, and I know it annoys a lot of my listeners when I go this route, but some of them look like they're demon possessed. I've
got a perfect video that actually is one of the biggest ever that went viral. Louder with Crowder had it, Hannity, and it's called The Screamer. And it was this girl that we had a March to Trump last March 4th last year. Mm-hmm. And this thing just came up. This girl, I think, just came up and started screaming at the top of her lungs.
I saw that.
And she literally, she looks like she's possessed. So that's actually a perfect, that goes along perfectly with what you said about the possession, demon. I think a lot of them are on drugs or, trying to get off drugs, one of the two.
Yeah. I mean, look, I believe in God, which if I believe in God, I do believe that the devil exists. So I mean,
I agree.
To me, it's not a stretch that maybe through use of these like psychotropic or whatever these mind-bending drugs that they use, that, you know, look, if you use ayahuasca and you're under maybe a guided meditation thing, maybe that's safe. I've never tried it, but if I you know, I'm not going to assume that immediately, but these people seem like they're self-medicating, which makes it easier for some evil spirits to get in them. And
well, you know, and it could be the meth that they probably use.
Yeah,
meth will do that too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, I'm a Ron Paul guy. I grew up in a conservative household. You know, and once I moved on my own, you know, Ron Paul, libertarian, you know, do what you want as long as you don't hurt anybody else. That's the main problem I have with Antifa. They're so quick to they feel like they're in such danger that they feel that they're free to throw hands. But
well, yeah, that's exactly. They claim to be anti-fascist, yet they are the fascists in
right.
How they shut down free speech and everything else. They're doing everything that they claim to be against.
Exactly. I mean, the Nazis were anti-Semites, correct?
Oh yes, very much so. That was a big part of you know, Hitler believed that they were basically, you know, equatable to disease, vermin, you know, rats or whatever, and wanted to exterminate every single one of them. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what he thought.
So, I mean, well, this is something I heard at the May Day rallies here in New York. Maybe you heard the same over there. They hate Israel. They always they always talk bad about Jews, yet they turn around and they will, like, if some, like, look, I'm not a fan of Richard Spencer. I'm not a fan of any real white nationalist.
Correct.
But
me neither.
Yeah. You know, obviously because I'm brown, so, you know, I'm kind of biased. So
we have many. One of our best people is Samoan.
Yeah,
and,
tiny.
You know, we don't see color, honestly.
Right.
And you know, God bless you for being the same way, because that's a big part of the problem.
Right. Is
people see it what they're told, and rather than all being Americans. But yeah, I agree with you. I don't like those people either, and they're hypocritical, to say the least.
Yeah.
And I found with the left, they always seem to side with Palestinians, you know, which are basically, you know, Jordanian refugees, and hate Israel because, I don't know if it's because Israel is a war hawk that is one of our main allies, or what the deal is, and they see it that way. You know, it goes a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I bring it up is because here in May Day, they were screaming, Israel, go to hell, you know, oh, you do this, do that, do this. I'm like, yet, like, because they side with women like Linda Sarsour or Linda the Cockroach.
Mm-hmm.
Linda Cockroach, which is what her name means.
Yeah.
You know, but they always scream against Israel, but yet they be like, oh, we're all inclusive, this and that. I'm like, okay, if you're so all inclusive, what's with the like? And honestly, I've seen Jew hate on both sides, and it gets annoying. But like, you would think it's just hypocritical, and they're not aware, or they don't acknowledge when they're hypocritical.
Well, I think it's because, you know, from what I can see, more than anything else, they aren't ideological so much as just what they're told. They're more robotic. And, you know, a lot of them are paid to do it. I mean, you know, I can go back and cite Craigslist, people hiring them, and, you know, they get paid daily or per event, or even in our buddy Snaggletooth Luis's case, I imagine a salary to just go out and instigate everything else. I don't think they really believe in anything so much that they profess, so much as they just enjoy going out and there are a lot of these people that have. A lot of them look like they're outcasts socially and otherwise, and they're getting their revenge and getting paid for it and going out and acting on it. And a lot of these people, they go clear back in Oregon. I don't know if you've ever heard of the ELF, the Earth Liberation Front, which we had troubles with, burning log trucks and sitting in trees and all that crap. Oh. And then that morphed into Occupy and Black Lives Matter. All these kind of morph into the same thing. It's just basically people that are social misfits, dislike anybody that is normal, and they go and they're free to act upon it because the police don't arrest them or anything else. They say, well, they're protesting because they're unhappy, and we have to give them leeway. So of course they just go out and live out their fantasies. And like I said, a lot of them were paid for it. And that's the only work they can get outside of plasma selling their blood or whatever. Picking up cans.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, look, I do stand-up comedy. Do I want the government to subsidize me so that way I could go do stand-up comedy? No, because I want to be a success someday, and honestly, I want to keep the money I earn. I want to keep the money I earn, and I do mean earn because it is hard work. But like the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of them they claim that they're artists, but I mean their art they just try to be offensive, but like to me they're not offensive. To me they're just lazy in what their subject matter is, because it's like, okay, you made a sculpture of the Virgin Mary or the cross or your interpretation of what God is in picture,
out of semen or urine or something, blood.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, all right, that's first of all, that's not art. It doesn't inspire anything. It's just you're just basically being a 2-year-old. This is just juvenile.
But here's the problem: is they're rewarded for it. They know that they can go out and act in this way, and liberal state like ours, I'm in the belly of the beast over here. I mean, I know you guys have but I mean, Oregon, Washington, California, all very blue, and they're rewarded for that kind of thing. And they'll go out there and I mean, they could go out, This is when Obama was president. He couldn't do anything wrong. He could go take take a crap on a piece of paper, and people would worship it. And it's kind of the same way with these people. They're rewarded for being extremely liberal, being against the pro quo, and most importantly, being anti-Trump and anti-conservative.
Yeah.
People lap it up, and everybody that we have in any kind of leadership position in the state, are Democrats, and they reward it. It's like was it Keith Ellison, or it was one of those people that actually had the Antifa handbook that he was posing with, the Antifa anarchist book or whatever. I can't remember. Somebody back east, anyway. Yeah. I think it was a guy in Minnesota. But I mean, that kind of thing. That's what enables them to do this and get away with it. And it's pathetic to me. And I'm glad that you contacted me, because I want to see it before anywhere else. I mean, I don't want to see it get to the point it's gotten here, Washington, Berkeley, California. It's ridiculous. It's out of hand.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're outnumbered here. I'm not gonna lie here. We're outnumbered here in New York City. They have headquarters everywhere. I'm like, I'm not gonna say what my plans are online, but we know where they are, and they have fight training there too. Which I don't know what good that does them, because I mean, You know, unless they sneak attack or they do sneak attacks, it's like if they face us one-on-one, you know, they get mollywopped. And like, which is why I love your videos with Tiny. Oh man. Oh God.
Awesome.
God,
thank God that guy is on our side.
Yeah, I know.
And it didn't start out that way. If you see the story of him, he actually was an Antifa type person, and right. He kind of tripped. Well, he went and says, "I'm going to pretend to be a patriot," and he went down to California, down to Berkeley, which is like 10 hours from Portland, with them, the Patriot Prayer, and it changed him, and he went completely the other way. And he's a young guy; he just turned 21, and it's really impressive to me. He's one of the best people we have. I mean, he's got a big heart and a good heart, but he's got a big everything else to go with that heart. And thank God, like I said, he's a friend and not a foe. Yeah. They're terrified of him, as they should be. Yeah, they do. But the thing is, they know that Tiny is not gonna just haul off and steal on somebody. No. So they get nobody in our organization, nobody within the Patriot groups does. That's one of the things that they'll never understand. The people that they're going against and trying to start fights with are usually former military, have military training, police training, whatever else. I mean, these are people that are not to be messed with, and I don't care how much they go and learn, MMA or Kung Fu or whatever they're trying to learn to defend themselves. It's not going to help a great deal. Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, I'm not going to, no, forget it. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to give them any ideas. So. Okay, I know. I know what you're thinking, though. It's, but Tiny, because like I told you, I was there when he was initiated as a Proud Boy here in New York City. I was part of his beat-in. So. Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember when they went up there. That must have been when they went to the anti-Sharia. I can't remember what. Yeah, the anti-Sharia talk. Milo was there. I wish I was there, man. But God, I hate my job. I'm the same way. It's like I work weird hours, and it's like. I miss out on some stuff too, but much to my wife's chagrin, I try to be involved with other things, just filming these, and there's so many people that will go and look at my videos and they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea because the news doesn't report this, that they're doing this. And, that's the most important thing, is to expose them for what they're doing, because there are a lot of people that in media that lionize them, and it's horrible, because there's nothing to lionize there, because there's nothing there. There's no defending of whatever they say they are. They're just in thugs. Well, the thing is, they have zero argument. That's the thing that always gets me about liberals. They never have an argument. Most of them do not come with facts. They're not. It just seems like they live in a fantasy world. And even if you come with facts, there's this like cognitive dissonance that's just so annoying. And to me, it's getting my blood boiling. And I'm like, yes, freedom of speech. Yeah, I have to like give myself the mantra: freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech. It's freedom of speech. Because if I don't, I'm just gonna end up hurting one of them one day. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm COINTELPRO, but if Luis Meth Mouth Marquez would have gotten in my face and spit on me, oh my goodness. I know. Well, the individual that he spit on in my video is running for Congress. Yeah. And so what's his name? I'm glad we do all these events together, and we're close friends, and I watch out for him so that he doesn't ruin his chance to be elected, because we need him, right? And he watches out for me because I'm a constant target, because I film them, so it works out pretty well. Yeah, but there are times like that. That's as close as I got, and I was like, it just takes one time, just one thing and it's going to be plastered all over. Congressmen, slugs, Antifa. Poor little Latino gentleman or something. You know how they spin it.
Yeah, I mean, I comment this on your video. It's like, he's only loud because he has people backing him up.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I think within the organization, he's a paid agitator. I mean, he goes out there. He's been arrested multiple times, and I'm sure that he probably gets like a bonus if he gets arrested. He gets paid more. And the whole reason for him to be out there is to get people like Tiny arrested, and it's like a little war game or something where you get the other side arrested and out of the picture, and then you hurt their ability to be able to be out in public without being a target of the police. I mean, it's I will say it's not that horrible of an idea to do, but I mean that's what he does, and then he directs people. I've seen him in videos, like the last one. He's literally telling them, "Okay, you've got to leave somewhat of a path, or we're going to get in trouble for blocking them," and they can use some kind of technicality that they're kidnapping type thing.
Yeah.
I mean, and so it's obvious that. And he's at everything. And he'll come in to an event and drive up in the middle of it because he heard about it. And they're always on the phone. So that they're on the phone saying, hey, this is what's happening, send reinforcements, whatever. So
yeah, I mean,
they're very active in that way.
One of the videos that got me really pissed off with him, which kind of inspired me to reach out to you, was him blocking the cyclist.
Yeah. Yeah,
it doesn't seem like from what I saw, it doesn't seem the cyclist was doing anything wrong, was part of any movement whatsoever. He's just trying to freely travel, which is his God-given right to travel, to go from point A, point B, point C, wherever he freely wants to go. And you have these idiots blocking. Oh my God. That just... Well,
he had been at events before with our group. So they recognized him. And so therefore, they do a lot of doxing of people, which is exposing work address, where they work, phone number, home address, everything. They're fond of doing that. And so a lot of what they smear people, basically. And, that's the only reason that they did that. He could have possibly just been trying to get to the other side of the road. Just down there on his bicycle. Yeah, and they did that. And even there were individuals there that weren't with either side. And there was, like, if you see in the video, there's an older guy that's, like, trying to hold back Luis, saying, hey, just let the guy go. Leave him alone. Yeah. And he wasn't, he didn't know either one of us. And that's the kinds of things that, we need to see. Plus, I had a lot of people that were saying, well, why didn't the police do anything or whatever else? The police were standing right next to us. And I was saying, you look at what they're doing. They're not letting this guy go. I mean, crying out loud.
I wonder what would have happened if that cyclist would have, in my opinion, been well in his rights. He's being illegally detained by somebody. He would have hauled off and knocked Luis on his ass and kept going. I wonder what would have happened.
They would have went out after him. I'm certain of that. I honestly believe, I don't know how familiar, you're probably somewhat familiar with our our governor. It was appointed to the position after her boss got caught. He had a girlfriend that was using the office for her own personal gain and just all this stuff. So basically, he resigned and she was appointed, and she's the first bisexual governor, and she's extremely liberal. And anyway, the point being is she tells her people, the city commissioner, the mayor, whatever else, what they're going to do, and basically they tell the cops to stand down. And I see it because I sometimes go to Seattle for events, even to Salem, even Vancouver across the river. And the way the police interact with all of us and handle things is completely different in Portland than it is in all the other places. I get so much, we just don't really even trust what's going to occur there, because you can get mauled in front of a policeman in Portland, and he'll kind of push you aside and say, hey, you're in the middle of this, so, get out of my way. I've had that happen. So, it's a crapshoot, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, so basically, I mean, what probably needs to get done in your city is you got to have to start electing some people so that way you have people on your side in government, or hopefully get some cops around it that they, violate orders in order to, uphold the law. But
well, what's interesting is when we have events, you can look within the video. You can see there's Department of Homeland Security police there. There's several different ones, not just the city of Portland. And I'm hoping that those individuals come and like if you see in a movie or anything, TV, whatever, if a city has something occur, the cops and the FBI comes along, boom, it's theirs. They override anybody else. And I'm hoping that, that there are larger, FBI, whatever, that comes along and can intercede over the police. And I think some of the police probably hope the same thing, because you got to believe that they don't like being told, stand down.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not what they signed up for. It's bad enough because this city doesn't back them up anyway.
Yeah.
There's been multiple lawsuits filed, and the city usually settles. So these Antifa will tear up the city, tear it up, but one of them will trip while they're next to a cop, so they'll sue, saying, well, the cop assaulted them, and they'll settle for $500,000. I mean, it's happened several times.
Yeah, it's not that bad here in New York. Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, the cops will still put like this one girl. In fact, fuck it, I'll name her. Her name. She's a female comic, a lesbian female comic, also Black Lives Matter activist and Antifa. And I just assume she's Antifa by her other affiliations. Elsa Waith. May Day 2 years ago, she got up in a cop's face, spit in his face, and he pushed her, and she landed on one of those metal grates that they put around trees, and cracked her rib. She didn't sue, but she had to try to raise money by one of these crowdfunding sites for her medical. For her
and
medical.
She probably got plenty of it too, didn't she?
I don't know if she got enough to pay off her bills, but it's hilarious because it's just hilarious because she's so pro-black. All white people are inherently racist. That nonsense. Yet she's dating. Yet she's dating a white woman.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, I know. There's I think there's a little card that these people are given once they declare that they're part of these groups, and they have to memorize everything on that card. And if they happen to forget anything, they got to pull it out of the wallet again and say, okay, white people are privileged racists. Whatever, people need reparations.
In fact,
blah blah blah. And I mean, I think they don't really think; they feel, and that's why it's easy as long as you can stand being yelled at and kind of spittled on. It's easy to win an argument with them because they just have their talking points, and you know what they're going to be because they're the same universally. So you just have to come in and have a thought that is common sense, and boom, they don't know what to do. They'll just repeat what they've spoken before. It's the same old.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because her girlfriend, the young lady I was telling, the young lady, she actually looks like Pepe the Frog, which amazes me why she's not on our side. She looks like Pepe.
I'd like to see that. I'm gonna have to look that up on on Wikipedia or something, because I got to see that now.
I'll send you a picture. She,
Okay,
yeah, but her girlfriend. You probably seen the video of Gavin McInnes debating a feminist in that black and white video he had.
Yeah, I think so.
It was one of his early podcasts. He was debating a feminist and he shut her down many times. I was about to go really New York and say mad times.
Go ahead. I'll figure it out.
Mad times, son. Like dead ass. He dead ass. I was about to start talking New Yorker right now. So
I have some friends in New York, so you're not completely losing me. And I got a buddy from, no offense, but from Boston, and he's taught me all kinds of these things, like amazeballs. I've never heard of that before.
Amazeballs. Yeah, no, there's totally yeah. We went to the Packy and we went on the car and it was totally.
Yeah, I know.
It was
wicked.
It was wicked. It was a wicked amazeballs.
Yeah, you haven't lost me yet. I know where you're going.
So she got shut down by Gavin McInnes. I'm like, you have no argument. Gavin shut you down easily, and she couldn't say nothing back. She was like, well, and it's like, okay, and what do you do for a living? I'm an artist. Okay, what's your art look like? Oh no, it's shit. Okay, I wouldn't hang that in my toilet. Like I wouldn't shit on it. That's how ugly it is. It's honestly, most of these Marxists are just failed
human
artists.
beings.
Well, yeah, failed human beings. I mean, there was this one girl, I don't know how successful she was. She works for a nonprofit that I was talking to until I found out she subscribes to Marxism. And I was like, oh, this won't last because one of us will have to kill each other because there could only be one.
Yeah, like the
Highlander. Thank you. Oh my God, you are now
baby.
you are now my favorite. You are now my favorite person because that is the first time anyone has ever got a Highlander joke from me. My whole life, I've done nothing but try to make Highlander jokes, and no one fucking understands.
There can be only one.
There can be only one.
Yeah.
No one,
Don't lose your head.
Like no one like ever looks at me. Everyone looks at me like, what? Like, you've never seen Highlander? You've really never seen Highlander?
Oh God!
Princess of the universe.
I know. It's. I guess you just had to find somebody old enough to remember that movie.
Yeah. Well, I'm 34. They did the series. The Highlander, the series was back in the 90s. Like, you don't have to be that old, even though they did fuck up the continuity with the last Highlander movie.
Yeah. Well, there's been 3 or 4 of those, but yeah, the first is definitely the best for sure. Mm-hmm. And even the soundtrack,
Yeah. But okay. Anyways, back. So I mean, it's like, she turned out to be a lawyer for a nonprofit. I was like, I can't. So, but let me get to some of these questions that I wrote down for you.
Okay.
So, like, a lot of the videos I've seen, there are a lot of old people on their side. Like up in the front, you have like old people and women in the front lines, like trying to like instigate fights. Like, old lady, I could kill you with a punch, with like a breath. Like, what are you doing here? And
well, that goes to the media part of them, because what they're hoping, almost always there's all the local media's down there. Plus there's public broadcasting, BBC, whoever happens to be there that particular week for whatever. Mm-hmm. And if some old lady on their side gets in the middle of a fracas, that is, get any you can't buy anything better than that to show on the news and show how evil it is, or how evil the white supremacists are.
Yeah, I mean,
and it doesn't matter that they instigated it or got pushed into it or whatever.
Right.
The media is going to cut it to make it look like that we went and beat some old lady up. So you can't buy that kind of publicity.
Yeah, which me personally, between me, you, and everyone that's listening, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't. Well, old lady,
you sleep in the bed you sleep in the bed you make, or whatever that, lie in the bed you make, whatever that saying is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when Moldilocks got knocked out in Berkeley, in one of the last battles for Berkeley. Like, I don't feel bad. Like what Gavin McInnes says, why are you having your women in the front line? They can't fight. You're going against guys. You're putting them up against guys that are fed up, which is why they're there. I've had Base Stickman on this show. I mean, we're getting fed up. I'm already fed up. Yeah. It's like,
well, I don't blame you. Honestly, it's no different. Terrorists do the same thing. They will go and hole up in a school, a church, whatever else.
Yeah.
And then it protects them somewhat because they're cowards. But number two, the whole thing is the whole, how they can present it in the media. I mean, oh my God, the American violent soldiers came and took out a church or a synagogue or a school, and so because they don't give two, I don't cursive, they don't give two shits about anybody.
You can curse. It's uncensored. It's uncensored. You could curse. Be as free as you want. I'm beholden to no one.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah, they don't care. I mean, that's again. That's what they are. That is Antifa.
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary about them because they have no moral fiber, no moral character, and the links every time they're going to further and further with what they're willing to do.
Yeah, I mean, they like you showed that, and they do it here. Antifa, they have from what I saw you posted, they have hand-to-hand fighting classes. They do,
right?
Yeah, but it looks like they're not really good students.
Well, it's like patty cakes, really. I mean, you just have to sidestep their slap.
Yeah, either that or block and just lean into them real good. But I mean, it's just
back to movies. Have you ever seen Waiting for Guffman?
Waiting for what?
Waiting for Guffman?
No.
Oh, it's by the same people that did Spinal Tap. Okay, there was a guy that was he would say, back in the days they would take a glove and slap somebody to challenge them. I mean, you have to see it to understand how funny it is. But that's what I expect one of them to come up to me with a white glove and slap me and challenge me. Kind of like Luis in that last video saying, well, put your gloves on and we'll go at it. And you can hear me laughing, saying, well, it's really hard to film when you're making me laugh, so stop.
Honestly, I would challenge Luis. If I ever saw him, I would challenge him to his face. I'm like, why do we need gloves? Isn't Oregon a mutual combat state? This is a perfectly good street. How's about this, Luis? So fuck it. If Luis listens, Luis, next time I'm in Oregon, this is Louis B. I'm Puerto Rican, so it'll be brown against brown. You can't use the whole white supremacist narrative against me. I have Jewish friends, so you can't say I'm a Nazi. Jewish best friends, actually. I was a groomsman at a Orthodox Jewish wedding, and yes, I am an uncle to their daughter. So
you get like double points for that.
Like, you can't use that narrative against me. So Luis, if I'm ever there, no one. No, I will tell. I will ask, not tell. Ask Leo and the rest of the crew over there to please stand back and not jump in. And you tell your it's whatever your transgendered retards over there to hold back. And if you really feel that tough, not Leo, Luis, porque tú eres un canto cabrón, porque yo sabe hablar español también. Mamá, no me jodas conmigo, porque yo voy a cagar encima. Yep. That's it. So
you did lose me on that, because I don't think that was New York speak there.
No. That was Spanish to another speaking Spanish to another Spanish person. I basically called him a cuck in Spanish.
Oh, okay.
A cuck.
Okay. Well, he is from Germany, so I'm not sure.
Wait, Luis.
That amazed me.
Wait,
Luis
Mercado, German?
From Germany, yeah. Marquez is from Germany, yes.
Marquez from
Marquez, yeah, from the German Marquez clan.
Huh. They have Luis.
Yeah, they were way over on the eastern side of the country. But no, literally, I'm dead serious. He is from Germany, probably Army brat or something, or military brat.
Okay, well, either way, we're probably the same height, so let's.
I'm sure he's shorter than you are. Yeah. I mean, I've never met you, but I can't imagine too many people that are shorter than him. So
right.
I think you probably outreach him. I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, either way,
I would put my money on you.
Either way, he's challenging people taller than him, so maybe it wouldn't be a problem. So, all right, I'm just like. I mean, so other than Luis, the German Marquez, which makes it even more funny him calling other people Nazis. Who are the other main players over there in Antifa?
Well, his girlfriend is at every event with him.
She's not pretty. She's not pretty.
No, but she's not as homely as most of them. And I'm really thankful. I'm thankful that she hasn't bared her chest, because a lot of for some reason, the Antifa women deem it necessary to run around without anything on up top, and they really shouldn't do that.
Yeah. I mean, she looks like a method.
And a lot of them, it's the take a walk on the wild side.
Yeah.
Or Lola, there's a lot of that gender thing where you're not sure. There's some we don't even know which they are, if they're male or female. So it gets really hard and confusing sometimes. We literally don't know.
Yeah, like that shim that hit that the black guy. I guess you were.
Yeah, That was a former he that now identifies as a she.
Mm-hmm.
So that was quite amusing.
Which kept the mannerism, which kept the mannerisms of a he, which freaking makes me laugh. Okay, you want to identify as a female, but you don't act ladylike at all.
Yeah, I would never honestly known, except for a couple of the way that she fought. I mean, is one way I could tell that she was identified as a woman.
Leo,
stop being later, nice. When I got a name,
stop being
and
nice.
That's really the other thing.
Stop being nice, Leo. He. Don't like, honestly, please don't like go with their mental defect. He's a he. He was born a he. No matter what fucking modifications at Monster Garage with Jesse James he did to do his body to make it look, well, it doesn't even look female. Like, honestly, the fate looked like a face was just horrendous. Well, get out of my face!
That's a given.
Get out of my face! We don't want you here. I would have kicked that little monster in the fucking nuts.
Like, for what it's worth, that is a great impression.
We don't want you
sounds
here.
Exactly like, yeah.
get out of here. And then
Exactly. Yes.
and honestly, in the videos, he's still there but he wears a mask. But I'm like, you still sound like this. Get out of here. Like her. Like, dude, I know it's you. Just.
Oh, I know. Just like somebody remarked today that they saw Luis with a mask on, and it's like because his snaggle teeth were sticking out of the mask, and it's like you can't hide some of these things.
I'm really impressed by how you keep your control, because I mean it's like he's calling you rape kid. Oh wait, I'm doing the wrong voice. You rape kids, Leo. You rape kids, Leo. Yeah, you rape kids. Like, you were in jail for raping kids. I'm like, I would have killed him. I would have, like, really.
Yeah, but I was blessed when I started my channel. There was a guy here, my buddy, that had daylight disinfection, and he would do a lot of the Occupy stuff and filmed them.
Mm-hmm.
He got a really great video going after Michael Moore, and he taught me early. He had worked with Breitbart and O'Keefe and stuff, and he said, nobody wants to. You need to be professional, or you're not going to have any. You're not going to be able to go in and actually film things because you're going to be too busy fighting or whatever else,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to get anywhere near it. So I learned really early from him about how to conduct yourself and just not to take things personally, even though I go home mad as hell and but
Mm-hmm.
I can go back again and film. Whereby some of these people that do lose their shit and they go in there and fight, they can't get anywhere near it because the police will go, oh, well, this person is a agitator, and we're not even gonna, let them get anywhere near to even film because they're gonna go in there and get in a fight and create a problem for us. So,
yeah,
that's where my patience comes in. It's not because I don't want to beat the shit out, because I do.
It's like, honestly, like I honestly, next time you see Luis, tell him this, like, you about the size of my last shit, Luis. Shut up.
and my shit actually looked more palatable too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like
he besides Snaggletooth, he's also Gargoyle and Pumpkin Man because he wore a pumpkin outfit. I mean, he's got many monikers.
Yeah, I mean,
like
if you could find out what like flavor Hispanic he is, I could probably figure out some deep cutting insults for you.
Well, I'm sure he has no Puerto Rican in him.
No, sure, damn. Unless one of us has low standards and really is gay. That's the only way he'll get Puerto Rican in him.
I don't know about that. I'm just, I'm throwing that out to you. He probably has no Puerto Rican in it.
Right.
He's probably whatever the lowest form of Latino is that even you guys make fun of. That's probably what he is.
Okay, that's well, I mean, I'm Caribbean Hispanic, so we make fun of Mexicans.
Okay, well,
like really bad. We got Mexicans. What else? Ecuadorians because they look kind of squatty.
There you go. Hey, he's from Colombia, maybe.
Okay, well, unfortunately, a lot of their women are just
Yeah,
So
they have a hard time getting through a doorway. Is that what you're getting at?
No, I'm talking about Colombian women are fine as hell.
Okay.
That's why. Yeah, that's why I'm going because delicioso. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I have a weakness for Latino women, so we went to Mexico, and with my wife, I'm like, just have a little bit of patience with me.
Right.
And we'll be fine.
Yeah. Just be careful because they see you like, I want a green card. And, have you divorcing your wife and then, taking half your shit once you get stateside. But, so, okay. Well, okay. Okay. Okay, another corny question, because in the beginning
Sure.
I said, they look like they're kind of demonic looking. They look like they're demon possessed. Do you think that this should be viewed as a holy war?
Um,
And this is a serious question. This is, people are going to be like, really? You really? No, this is a serious question. Like, because looking how they act, looking how they push lesbian, gay, and bisexual thing. Like, if you lesbian, gay, bisexual, fine. Like, be free as long as you're not hurting anybody else. Unfortunately, with the leftists pushing that agenda, they're also adding pedophilia to that. They're adding other things that do hurt other people, and they're trying to make the narrative that love has no age, and it's like, no, yes it does. In fact, I think it should be moved to 21 and older. Like,
well, honestly, I can go two ways with that. And don't read anything what I just said about two ways. But
right.
Meaning, I believe from the Bible that there's God's going to have a reckoning when He's going to come back and all that, and we're going to have to choose between what is right and what is wrong, ultimately. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's constantly, from the other side, religious-wise, people that are pushing against that and helping bring that to fruition. So that's one side of it. The other side of it is it's very true. The left, the liberals, or whatever you want to call them, are constantly trying to normalize their own behavior by minimalizing it and presenting it as being the norm. So the standards drop further and further. So, this person isn't a pedophile. They can't help it. They're sick. They were born to be attracted to children. And they say, they shouldn't be penalized for it. They should be helped, and they go even further in that, and it makes society look at things and say, we shouldn't be so judgmental, rather than having the standards that we used to have. That you don't do this and you don't do that because of what it does to other people and what what our morals are. So I think that there is a religious war in that way. Mm-hmm. Plus, I don't know that a lot of them don't side with the Muslim side because in a Sharia and all that, because they'll come right out and say, hey, I'm a socialist, I'm a Marxist. And, I was shocked when I first encountered, there's groups at Portland State that literally are socialist, communist groups. I mean, they outwardly march under the flag of it and defend it. And, I mean, where I grew up and say 30 years ago when I was growing up, that was, you didn't dare even speak that. You only talked about it in history. Mm-hmm. And to outwardly, profess that they are is just amazing to me still.
Yeah.
So I think actually you are right. I think that there is a great deal of truth to that. Plus, a lot of them, they'll come right out and say, there is no God, or they will go after, they'll chant Jesus was a communist or whatever. I mean, they have no respect for anything.
Yeah,
they have no moral fiber, and a lot of them do hate religion of any kind.
Which is kind of funny.
Religion of thine self.
Which is kind of funny because I forgot where in the Bible this is. If somebody could find it, email me. But there was a law in Israel that if you didn't work, you didn't eat. You had to work. Right. You couldn't, unless you were an invalid, and you couldn't physically work, there was help for you. And that's only if you were really messed up. But even still back then, if you had leprosy, they're like, hey, yo, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, pretty much they put you on an island or whatever.
It's like, It's like they were like, the thing is, I mean, you can't, there's property rights there. I mean, even though it wasn't a capital offense to steal, there was still punishment for stealing somebody else's stuff. You can't just be like, oh well, I'm hungry or I'm this, I'm that, I need it, so I'm gonna take it. There was none of that. You can't just steal other people's stuff. But according to these communists, it's like, oh well, we gotta take other people's stuff. Oh, because you have it, you have too much of it. Like, who the hell are you to say what do I have too much of? If I work for something and I earned it and I didn't steal it, I didn't hurt nobody for it, why can't I keep it?
Well, they hate capitalism, and they have a resentment towards people who have done well, regardless of how they've done that. Some people come from nothing. I mean, below nothing, and made something of themselves, and they still hate them for it, even though most of these people that have done that and accomplished it are still in their 60s and 70s, and they go to the office 12 hours a day, 6 days a week still, even though they don't have to. It's just what they are.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
seem to think that they're, because they're white and they lived in some certain neighborhood during some certain time and were given something by a certain family member that's how they attained it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so completely, incorrect.
Yeah.
Yet the money that they're receiving to go out and do what they do is from the wealthiest of people. One of the wealthiest people that exists is George Soros.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, just talking to my friend who he came here, when he was young as a refugee from the Ukraine, because at the time it was communist and anti, it was really anti-Semitic back then. So they had to flee and come here. He made the point, and that it just amazes me that they need communism needs capitalism to survive.
Exactly. It's the same thing as the environmentalists. Mm-hmm. They scream and moan and everything about coal, but they wouldn't have a battery for their electric car without coal.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
It's not exactly a movement of people who have a moral high ground that's undisputable. I mean, it's pretty easy to say, well, you could point to something they're wearing and say, well, if you're against that, then why are you wearing that?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that? One of the very first things I ever filmed, some guy was going on and on about wealth and stuff, and he's got this fancy, expensive camera, and it's like, I'm like, well, where did you get that camera then? I mean, who paid for that camera?
Oh yeah, that was kind of a lot of what we were seeing at Occupy Wall Street here. Like I went to actually interviewed a couple people at Occupy Wall Street, and I mean, there was this one girl. She says, she has a sign like, oh, my student loan is this much, my medical bills are this much. She's like $79,000 in debt. Yeah, she's fucking around on her iPhone. And I didn't say anything except, I like your iPhone. Didn't get.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. We have actually near my house, there's the most expensive private college in the country. It's called Reed College, mm-hmm. and it's named for John Reed, who was literally buried near Stalin. He was a communist, and he formed this college. Well, anyway, you see these people at this college, and it's just they look like they just woke up out of the street, and then they'll walk over and get in their BMW and drive away. And they're paying per term, I think, like between $40,000 and $50,000 for a liberal arts education,
which is totally useless.
Well, unless, of course, you're you know, a public, a social. What was it that Obama? What did they call him? He was
a community organizer.
Organizer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess if you want to become a community organizer, then it'll pay for itself. Otherwise, yeah.
So,
but they go as a social thing. I mean, and they go to further what they already believe. You know, It's easy if you can go to a college and the professors tell you everything that you believe anyway. You know, so and so is evil, and capitalism is evil, and you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's the same thing. You know, you just go on like, you know, if you're so poor, then and they act like they're poor, but I don't know. I guess it's a rebellious thing, but it is hypocritical.
Yeah, I mean it's like a lot of these socialists that I see, they just end up trying to go into comedy. they become baristas and they come into comedy and
That's exactly it. That's a perfect thing. Is a barista. That's what most of these people will go and spend. You know, they'll go into debt several $100,000, and then they graduate and, you know, become baristas, and then
we need to
have a
fight
lot
for
of
15.
slackers.
Fight for 15. Like, look, if I'm not earning enough at my job right now, I mean, even though it is a union gig, I can't really sneeze at it. It pays my bills, but you know, hey, I want to make a little more. I'm going to learn marketable skills to upgrade myself. I'm not freaking out here. Let's fight for 15. We're gonna I'm not.
Oh, I know.
Like, honestly, and somebody I forgot who on Facebook today, they posted this meme. Oh, if you want fair wages, don't use the self-checkout. And you know, me and another guy, we use the self-checkout. You know why? Because I mean, the lines are long. They take, you know, the ones manned by the registers manned by people. They take too long. They get distracted. A lot of times they're having these personal conversations, and you just want to get the fuck out the store. Like, if I could scan my own goddamn items, slide my card, and get the fuck out in 2-3 minutes. Like, you know what? Fuck your $15 an hour job. Freaking go back to school and learn how to, like, you know, unclog pipes and go kill yourself.
Well, you don't. And that's the best customer service you're going to get, is that you go through the self-checkout.
Yeah.
You know you're going to get customer service. You're going to have to, like, go and write up on some comment card that the person was rude to you when you went through a line. You only got yourself to blame.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. I mean, because I know what I want. I go in and get it, and I get back out. If I spend more than 5 minutes in a store, that's my own damn fault.
Yeah, I mean, you know, all these, like, fast food workers complaining, oh, we want $15 an hour. Like, first of all, I don't eat fast food because it makes me sick. I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm not going to go there, so I don't care. You know, but, you know, in New York City especially, I see a lot of McDonald's locations when I pass by. They already have the computer checkout. And, you know, hey, more and more people are very, very used to using like a touchpad or a you know, a tablet to do stuff. You know, hey, okay, look, you know, press the plus or minus if you want lettuce or you don't want lettuce, and get the burger you want, and not have and your order doesn't get fucked up.
I was just going to say that the computer screws it up a lot less than the people that actually work behind the deal. I mean, you know.
Yeah, the only time.
Yeah,
yeah.
If you want to get screwed, go through the drive-through. You know, I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it drives me nuts. Yeah, and if honestly, if I could go and get exactly what I wanted, and then have to repeat myself and say over and over, you know, you enunciate what you want: orange, pickle, mustard. I mean,
and the moment the moment they get the machine ready that freaking 3D prints your meal, and all you need is one person to like maybe disinfect the machine every 8 hours, so that way no one catches listeria or something, or salmonella. You know, it's gonna be a wrap. In fact, it'll probably make a lot of these places safer because I mean, if you've seen, and I don't know if there's a correlation, but if you've seen a lot of these like videos on World Star Hip Hop where people go crazy in a fast food restaurant, it's usually because they feel like the person got their order wrong. Well, if there's a fucking if there's a computer there and and you slid your card and you know a slot opens up and here's your meal and it's messed up, who you gonna fight with?
Exactly. You're going to go to like the head computer, and that's like the guy behind the curtain. I mean, no, that's not going to work out. That guy's giving you time of day.
Yeah, it's like
what you have to do is you have to like file some kind of formal complaint, and then they'll get back to you in like a month and a half.
And that's it. That's if they're able to read your complaint, because the machine got it wrong and shit, and you know it was all discombobulated. Like what? No, okay, crumble this up. Thank you.
It was an electric power surge.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's going that way. I want to say Wendy's was one of the first big chains to actually adapt to the minimum wage thing by putting more machines in. Yeah. And you know, even now, I know you don't really eat fast food, but almost all these joints now have like these cola machines where you go in and you just get a cup and then you go up there and there's all these screens that you push the buttons that you want. You want diet, caffeine free, vanilla, grape.
Yeah, I've
Coke,
seen those.
Whatever. And
I've seen those.
I mean,
yeah. Yeah, actually, I'm proud to announce that I have quit Diet Pepsi and Diet sodas, so that way I could stop with the soft kill weapons. So I'm actually for a whole month soda free so far. So
wow. Well, yeah. I don't want to screw that up. I'll congratulate you because that's one of my kryptonite things, but I don't want to say too much about it and make you even have to think about it and long for it. Because slowly, I haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, I mean it's slowly but surely. You know, you just gotta realize, okay, that you know, because I was going through a lot of health issues, and you know, I just figured out that a lot of it was from a lot of soda drinking. And you know, you cut out the soda, and a lot of the stuff is starting to go away. So you know, good
for you. Man.
Yeah,
congratulations.
You know, thank you. So, but yeah, I mean, it's. But going back to this, I mean, we went on the official tangent of the show, talking about you know, going on, you know, automating. You know how at this point automating. You know, fast food restaurants, because honestly, fast food restaurants were meant for like college students or high school students to like get experience, so that way they could.
You work your way up, you earn it. There's a novel term right there. Earn it.
Yeah.
You aren't entitled to it. You go out and you earn it.
Yeah.
I entirely agree with that, and that drives me nuts. Yeah, and I'd almost forgotten about the 15 Now people, but they are succeeding over here, just like a lot of other places, and it's driving a lot of businesses out. It's closing down restaurants because you know, frankly, a lot of people can't afford it.
Yeah.
To employ somebody for that kind of money, and I mean. Do you want to go in? And again, you don't eat the stuff, but I mean, do you want to go in and pay $15 for a $3 burger? Because that's where it's going.
No, of course not.
And that's where it is in some places. Yeah.
I mean, again, this started off as a health thing, but it's ended up saving me money. I cook for myself. And honestly, I don't get all the chemicals and whatever preservatives and whatnot they put in burgers. And trust me, I love burgers, and I'll just make my own burgers, and I make it the Puerto Rican way. So you know, you know, it's how you season the meat. You flavor it with you know, there's this vegetable stock that we make called sofrito, which is made out of red peppers, green peppers, sweet red peppers, garlic, onion, cilantro, and culantro. I don't know what the name of it is in English. And you blend it together, and you know, you put it in meat, you put it in rice. It flavors the meat. And
does it override the taste of anything you put it in? That sounds pretty strong.
Well, no, it adds flavor to the meat, so that way you don't really need to put like salt or pepper.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you know,
sounds good.
Yeah, you know, you don't have to put. So all I do is put cheese and you know, I make my own homemade ketchup. So I avoid that.
Nice.
So I mean, either way, I end up saving money. I still eat the food that I like, but like a healthier version. You know, it's just, it comes out better. You know, honestly, you know, unless you're going to like a fancy restaurant, or you know, you're going out, you're taking a girl out on a date, and you want to take her to like Bennigan's, or Bennigan's doesn't exist anymore. Perhaps a Sizzler, because they have like a buffet. And
right, or Olive Garden or something.
Olive Garden, which I hear most women believe that's not a date, but if you're not paying for dinner, shut the fuck up.
Well, it depends on what date it is. I mean,
yeah,
it's okay for a first date, but I wouldn't, you know, go too many more, and you might want to go to some of these other nicer places.
Yeah. But you know, it's like you never take a girl out to McDonald's, so it's like McDonald's is usually like for the drunks and the homeless people go there. I mean, like, I hate, and again, we're on the official tangent. Like, another reason why I stopped going to these fast food restaurants, because I don't know if they have them in Seattle or Portland, but we got the homeless doorman. Do you know the homeless doorman? Basically,
yes, I do.
The guy that opens the door and expects a fucking tip. And just,
we you know, they usually chase them off. They usually just hang out and sit. They don't actually do anything for it. They don't bother to get up and actually open the door. They just sit there and have their hand out saying, spare some change.
Oh no,
some change.
And either that or it's the heroin whore that goes in, and she like sticks her hand in your face while you're eating over your food. Now, you got any change? You got any change? I'm like, oh God, like, and they always come to me. And then when I'm like, look, I don't got any change, fat fuck. I'm like, it's just like no damn respect. And I was like, all right, you know what? Enough's enough. Enough's enough. I gotta stop doing this, because I'm gonna end up killing somebody. Like, fuck, you know, fuck me trying to lose weight. It's more like I just don't want to go to jail for stabbing someone for the disrespect. But
well, you know, honestly, you know what? The few times I've visited San Francisco, it is like that. You know, more like you say. They're pretty good about not letting that occur in Portland, for example. Seattle, you know, right downtown Seattle, when I was there a few weeks ago, yeah, they had guards in there, and there was some of that. But when I went to San Francisco, it was like that, you know. And a lot of that goes to the fact of them being enabled, because they you know, they're like, well, they're poor homeless people, or they're poor druggy people, or whatever, and we just have to, you know, let them be.
Yeah.
And you get up in the morning. When I was in San Francisco, I would get up in the morning, we would walk, and they're out with street sweepers cleaning up their piss, and you can smell the piss all over the place.
Yeah, that's
and
disgusting.
they have to spend the money just to clean that up every morning.
Yeah, instead of actually,
it's an enablement, it's an entitlement thing. They're like, well, no, we can't push them. We can't not let them do this or not let them do that. So consequently, you can't take your kid to McDonald's so they can go play on the swing or whatever, because, you know, crack grandma or whatever, you know, was there defecating earlier or sleeping on it or something. And that's a real deal. And it's you know, that's where it's gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, first of all, if you're taking your kid to McDonald's, that's just child abuse at this point. I mean, like, if your child needs a toy to eat his food, you fucking failed. It's just That's just where my head is at. But
go to their bedroom and grab one of their toys and say, shut up and eat your peas. Here's your truck or whatever.
Yeah, like
your dolly.
Like, it's like, I want to go to McDonald's. I want you to live to freaking pay for my retirement. Just
yeah. Because when I get to be a certain age, then we switch back all the time. That I wiped your butt for you and cleaned up after you when you threw your food all over in your high chair. That switches. When I become a certain age, that's what I do, and you have to clean it up.
Yeah, I mean, and that another reason that you just gave me another reason for me to like get healthier, because my parents are divorced, which means I'm gonna have double duty. Literally,
oh,
I'm gonna have to go. I'm probably gonna have to travel between 2 states, and just to make sure they're both okay. Oh, and I'm an only child, and I'm an only child too. I am fucked.
Oh, you are. Just. You better just like save up for that now and spoil yourself, because when it becomes that time, you're gonna spend all your time going in between both places, and you're gonna feel guilty all the time because that's Anyway, I don't want to bring you down with that. So but you're probably right.
Too late, Leo. Too late.
That's one of those things that's a given. It's going to become children again.
Right. So okay, let's we've been on for an hour. Let's close it out. Last question. What oh goodness, I shouldn't ask that question, because I don't want to give them, if they listen, I don't want to give them, so that's what they're planning. So you're trying to, so who on your side? Oh no, that's a bad question too. Like, I'm really trying not to make you give up any secrets, any battle plans.
Well, I'd be happy to pass any of this stuff along to you, and then you can share it as needed, right, or as you like.
But okay, so how's about this? How's about you close it out? What you write for the redelephant.com, correct?
Yes. Just whenever I'm one of the writers for them, and most of the time I'm writing about Antifa. A lot of times they'll just write about a current event, but I like to use them as a perspective so that the rest of, it's read throughout the country, not just locally. And again, it goes back to exposing what these people are, because, they're really not, they're not put out there by the media for what they really are. And it makes me sick. There's a lot of the media that glorifies them.
Mm-hmm.
I had A&E just did a TV show called Divided States of America, and they did a hour thing on Jeremy Christensen, who actually stabbed and killed people on the MAX train here, mm-hmm. and he was at a Patriot Prayer event, so they associate him with us. And Andy had actually asked me to use some of my video footage, and I said okay, because I didn't know what they were going to do. But they basically trashed us and propped up Antifa, and it really aggravated me, especially since the person that there was 2 people killed and 1 person survived the stabbing on the MAX, and that person, they glorified it like crazy. And he said on the TV show over and over, well, I was just there and it was the right thing to do. But he lied. He literally, a year ago at a Patriot Prayer event, he got arrested for throwing smoke bombs at us. But he didn't even, it took us digging and going online and remembering him to come up with and say, hey, A&E, could you even bother maybe doing a background check on this guy to see if he was lying to you or not? And that's the kind of thing that we're used to dealing with.
It's like anyway. Just still amazes me how they can get away with being so dishonest, and then they make it, and then instead of like actually having an argument, you know, they just seem to like think it's a joke when the president says fake news, but that it's an accurate assessment. That it's
well, you hit the nail on the head, and I think more than anything else, the reason that they're able to get away with all of this is there's so many people that are so hateful of Trump, they will go with anything that goes against him just because they have such a hate for him. And I think in this environment of the anger towards Trump by, 50% of the country or whatever, Antifa is thriving in that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they could probably thrive without that. I think Trump is the biggest reason why they are able to.
Like Kate Steinem. I mean, that like they let him go free because they deny the family justice just to stick it to the president. Like how, like I mean, I don't know if this is the right term. Short-sighted is that, or how just idiotic is it? Like, whatever happened to just things being right and wrong, and focusing on things that are just right and wrong instead of left and right? I mean, look, you know,
we could go on for another hour about sanctuary cities, of which Portland is, and San Francisco, which is the ones that he got off in for killing Kate Stanley is, and being another problem, and also being the focus of one of Trump's things about building the wall and curtailing, and that also goes back to the 15. A lot of these things are open border situations,
right?
And that all ties in really to what you're saying and what the Kate Stanley thing. And I have video of them coming and some of the stuff that they did and said during the Kate Stanley rally was just abhorrent and completely contradictory to what they claim. But what that just is part and parcel with their whole thing. It doesn't take too much to look into those things and realize where they're coming from.
Yeah,
it's just the willingness to do it, and not just to buy into because of I don't like Trump or whatever. I'm not saying me, but because you don't like Trump, you buy into all these other things because they're anti-Trump, and that's what we have to get past to get this taken care of. Which is not. These people are going to come to your city on the week after Trump was elected. They did over $1 million of damage in the city of Portland, including going into a car dealership during a march and jumping on cars, brand new cars, kicking in the windshields, destroying the bodies of them,
and
burning cars.
For what reason they did that? Like,
because they were unhappy because Trump was elected.
Like children.
What's that?
Like children.
Like children.
Like
exactly.
children.
Exactly. But in the name of whatever they want to say, human rights, defending immigrants, whatever. I mean, over and over. The whole thing last Friday that you saw the video for. Yeah. We went there to film. I went there to film and see what they were going to do on the inside. We couldn't even get to the inside. And the whole thing was Portland stands with immigrants and refugees. And, I mean, I would imagine half these Antifa would probably, wouldn't give 50 cents to a refugee if they were asking for it.
Yeah, no, because
it's an excuse.
Yeah, because liberals are generous with other people's shit. They're like, what you should be doing with your property? You need to be doing this with your property. Okay, what are you doing with your property to help other people?
Exactly.
Crickets.
Exactly.
Crickets.
Hypocrisy.
So, anyways, Leo, thank you for coming on. You are welcome to come on whenever you want. If you ever just want to pop on and just you have something in mind, you just want to let out, you're more than free to come here. Like I said, it's uncensored. If you need
it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this a lot, and I'm hoping maybe I can come on again and have some news about a big part of it being brought down or brought to justice. That's what I'm hoping.
Of course.
That's my goal.
Of course. So, Leo, where can people find you?
They could find my videos are at YouTube /Leo Stratton, LeoStratton, and I have 300 and some videos. If you go back too far, be careful because I did film the naked bike ride, so you might need eye bleach if you go back a couple of years on my videos.
All right.
Otherwise,
which I'll never understand, but okay, I don't.
Yeah, that's just a whole other show right there. That's Portland. That's Keep Portland with me. Yeah, that's honestly, if you haven't had a lot to eat, your stomach has settled well or whatever, you can go look at bike videos. Otherwise, warning on those. They're not easy to watch, but entertaining.
All right. So, okay. So, anyways, I'd like to thank everyone for listening to today's show. Come back next week, same crotch time, same crotch schedule. And as always, from my house to your house, mahalo.
That's the end of my show. Donk.
Help the Crowd Shot Radio Show grow and thrive by doing something you already do. Shop on Amazon. Amazon always has great deals for whatever you are looking for. From survivalists and riot gear to beanie babies. Next time you're going to shop at Amazon, use my link. The prices stay the same, but I get credit for the sale. Just go to tinyurl.com/LouisB and just shop normally, knowing that you're helping support the Crotch Shot Radio Show. That's tinyurl.com/LouisB.